This is another episode of Standup Comedy, your host and MC, celebrating 40-plus years on the fringe of show business. Stories, interviews, and comedy sets from the famous and not so famous. Here's your host and MC, Scott Edwards.
Hey, and welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another bonus show, An Audience of One, where we try to do something a little different and mix up your week. We have something different for you this time. I was going through the Laughs Unlimited archives, and back in 1989, right after the 1988 success of Who Framed Roger Rabbit, the voice of Roger Rabbit and star of the show, Charles Fleischer, was a regular at my club, and while at my club, we had arranged a TV interview with a local station. So here's the backstory. They were getting set up to do the interview, and Charles decided to interview himself. And this is about a 3-4 minute rambling of Charles Fleischer by himself. And it's very funny. You hear a little bit of Roger Rabbit. It's a little dirty, but it is interesting to see how his mind works. And this was not used for TV, so there is some back noise, but I think you could still understand what he says. And I found it interesting, and it's a little bit of history from back in the late 80s. So ladies and gentlemen, here for your enjoyment and edification, Charles Fleischer interviewing Charles Fleischer. Here we go.
I don't really know. I don't think there'll be another one. I hated that film. I want to see aliens. Did you see RoboCop? You know, they have a new one, RoboCock. Just wanted to show everything can't be used. Edit. One day when the aliens come, you'll show this to them. Beep, 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 beep. Let's see. So, what are your plans for the future? I'm trying to get into network TV. I'm going to do my own TV series if things work out. And how does your comedy relate to arachnids? Well, you know, that's a good point, because I find that eight-legged creatures are very similar to my act because they're spinning a web of mystery, a web of jackweb, dragnet. You drag a net, what do you get? You get old sacks. Where? Laughs unlimited. That's unlimited laughs, meaning what? Well, it's limited to a certain point because, you know, you can't have unlimited laughter because that would take infinity. And then, quite frankly, infinity, I spit. Sound spit. Sound the bite. Bite this. Channel 31. 3 and 1 is 4. 4 plus 1 is 5. 5 is the ancient word for hand. This is the best interview I've ever had. His questions are right on the money. Boom! He leads me right into everything. I can't believe it. Unbelievable. So, are you a fan of Navajo people, or do you like all Indians? Molino, Calatendo, Rip. And who are your inspirations as a comedian? Groucho Marx, Jonathan Winters, Jimi Hendrix, Albert Einstein, Salvador Dali, just to name a few. You incorporate music in your act. Do you find that music is an important part of your life? Yeah, I love music. To me, music is like spiritual candy that your ears chew up and your soul digests. I noticed that you have a lot of different references. Do you read a lot? No, I just find this stuff on the ground, man. Ask me stupid questions. How come you're not shaved? Well, I didn't know this interview was going to happen. I shave right before my show so that my skin is smooth like Hey, something was beeped out. Now, you do different voices. Can you do any high-pitched squeaky sounds? How about something low? I want my mommy. And something kind of weird and funny.
Okay, how's this?
I can't believe he's yawning on me. I'm doing all the work, and he's yawning. Unbelievable. Give me this. Look at this. He's got a sheet of paper here. Dumbest questions I ever heard in my life. Charles Fleischer. Was he doing stand-up before Roger Rabbit? Good question. No, I started doing it afterwards. Stand-up comedy is just something you just jump into like Rick Dees. What other voices does he do? He doesn't do other voices. He does characters. He's an actor, not a voice. What does he enjoy more, movies or stand-up? Well, you can't say that because they're two different things, like live and not live. Theater and movies. If you were to have a bicycle wheel, you have the hub. At the center, you have spokes radiating outwards. It would appear that each spoke goes in a different direction, yet they all end up at the circumference. Check it out! Next question. Is there another full-length Roger Rabbit in the works? No. When a movie makes $300 million, they put it on the shelf. No way. Why would they want to make more movies? Not at all. Ask him to tell us, as Roger, his favorite line in the movie. What do I look like? Some kind of whore? I don't believe you asked that question. My favorite line in the movie was cut out. My favorite line in the movie was, Tipper, Jessica's got a big pussy. I know you can't use that, but your editing people will have a lot of fun. Hey, Luke, come on here. We got the rabbit doing dirty shit. Come on, this is better than that little golden phallus on the Little Mermaid box. Well, I think that about wraps up your questions. Maybe I should ask you some now, eh? Either way, you're a friendly guy, even though that your interviewing skills are quite frankly inept. But look, you aren't supposed to be a good interviewer. You're a Schlagmann-Hufneidler. That's a nice T-shirt if you can find a zookeeper to share it with. I have no idea what that means, and it really doesn't matter. Let me just say, I've had a lot of interviews. You ask the most pertinent questions. I'm embarrassed by the questions you ask.
Well, wow, ladies and gentlemen, that was certainly different. That was Charles Fleischer, the voice of Roger Rabbit, interviewing himself as they were preparing to do a TV interview back in 1989. He was a regular at our club, always very unique, very funny, great stand-up comic, and great comic character actor, Charles Fleischer. Hey, we hope you enjoyed this special bonus show. Stay tuned. Sunday, we'll have another new episode of Stand-Up Comedy, your host and MC. Hey, thanks for listening. Bye.
We hope you enjoyed this episode of Stand-Up Comedy, your host and MC. For information on the show, merchandise, and our sponsors, or to send comments to Scott, visit our website at www.standupyourhostandmc.com. Look for more episodes soon and enjoy the world of stand-up comedy. Visit a comedy showroom near you.